him out, but he keeps looking better and better and better every time he shows up. Yeah.
Paddy, the Baddy Pimblett, a name that brings excitement, fun, and a whole lot of noise to the UFC. Once dismissed as nothing more than a promotional project, a charismatic and flashy figure whose biggest threat seemed to be his quirky haircut and funny accent. To many opponents, a fight with him felt like easy money. Who would have thought a Scouser, a lad from Liverpool, could even sniff the top 10 of the lightweight division? But now, things are different. The fighter nobody ever took seriously has become one of the loudest names in the division. Behind him stand millions of fans, the respect of fellow fighters, and even the very best now call for a fight with him. It's time to break down exactly how Paddy forced the world to respect him, his game, his style, and his name. Pimblett has walked an incredible road to the top, and he's earned every bit of your attention. Paddy grew up in Liverpool, a city with a hard edge and a deep love for football. From an early age, he showed interest in martial arts. His father, a fight enthusiast, took him to a gym where Paddy first tried Taekwondo. But it wasn't enough. It lacked the brutality, the grit, the blood he craved. The moment he discovered mixed martial arts, Paddy struck gold. He progressed rapidly, showing raw talent and an obsession with the sport. His amateur career was short but action-packed. Like most up-and-coming fighters, Paddy struggled financially, balancing grueling training with work just to support himself. The lack of money forced him to take the leap into the professional ranks despite being very young. His training was brutal: boxing, kickboxing, grappling, and wrestling, pushing him to his limits. Paddy had to give everything to keep up with seasoned opponents. His debut came in the super featherweight division, where he often relied on his massive frame. However, that advantage couldn't carry him forever. Riding a 4-fight win streak, Paddy was humbled, losing to a basic wrestler in just 35 seconds. That defeat became a crucial turning point. Pimblett rebuilt himself into a far more technical fighter. The transition paid off. He quickly became champion in regional promotions, setting the stage for the opportunity of a lifetime. He got offered UFC contracts multiple times but turned them down until he was 26. He knew he wasn't ready. As he put it, he was still a child fighting men and had too many holes in his game. UFC brass weren't blinded by his patchy resume. They saw him as a flashy, entertaining name who could pull fans and sell pay-per-views in the UK, not necessarily a future champion. But the Scouser waited. That choice forged him into the fighter we know today. He learned to value hard work, to endure setbacks, and to never quit. His self-belief and indomitable will were born from those early trials. The true launch point into UFC waters came after a statement victory in a Cage Warriors main event, where Paddy dismantled his opponent and formally declared himself ready. Paddy made his UFC debut with a spectacular victory, living up to the entertainment expectations. But the promotion wasn't in a hurry to push him. The contract he was offered was far from glamorous. For context, in regional promotions where he headlined, Pimblett would earn upwards of $50,000. In the UFC, his starting deal was a meager 10-10. The Scouser understood the message. The UFC didn't see him as championship material. He had to build himself up the hard way, climbing the rankings with wins over big names and earning fan support all on his own. A turning point in his relationship with the fans came after an emotional speech at UFC London. Following a victory, Paddy opened up about mental health and self-harm, a moment that showed a different side of him and resonated deeply with many. Yet, instead of universal praise, he became a target for mockery and hate. Critics accused him of chasing attention, still viewing him as the goofy kid, a clown, not a contender. Every opponent believed he'd crumble the moment he faced a ranked contender. Dana White, ever the mastermind, saw an opportunity for a perfect play. Paddy Pimblett was booked against a monster of the old era, Tony Ferguson. A living legend, but one in the twilight of his career, stuck in a brutal losing streak. If Ferguson stopped his slide against Paddy, he'd reclaim his place. But if the young, unpolished Scouser survived Ferguson's hunt or even pulled off the win, he'd instantly be stamped as a dangerous prospect with huge upside. Paddy rose to the occasion and defeated Ferguson, earning his place in the spotlight. Yet, even then the critics struck again. The very same experts who had buried him before the fight now dismissed the win, claiming Ferguson was too old, too broken, a shadow of himself. Instead of respect, Pimblett received another wave of negativity. The only ones who truly stood by him were the fans. And for Paddy, that was enough. His subsequent victory over Bobby Green was nothing short of phenomenal. He practically put his opponent to sleep, showcasing the massive difference in skill levels. At this point, it was crystal clear Pimblett had more than earned a shot against a true top contender. The hype around the Englishman had reached unprecedented heights. Still, for most fighters, Paddy was still seen as easy money. And like a hungry predator, Michael Chandler pounced on the opportunity. Chandler was desperate to prove he still belonged among the lightweight elite, and to him, Pimblett wasn't a threat. He was a highlight reel waiting to happen. At press conferences, Michael laughed, joked, and boldly predicted a knockout. But when the cage door closed, it was Paddy who stayed calm, focused, and determined. In the end, the only prediction that came true was Pimblett's. Now, Pimblett has become one of the biggest names in the lightweight division. He's in demand like never before. Fighters ranked in the top 10, even the champion himself, are calling for a shot at him. From ridicule, hate, and constant doubt, Pimblett has fought his way into becoming one of the UFC's brightest stars. And make no mistake, he's not slowing down anytime soon. He's called out the best: Dustin, Justin, Arman, and Charles. He's training to fight the best, even the current champion. He'll never turn a fight down. So, what do you think? What's next for Paddy Pimblett? Does he have what it takes to conquer the very top? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you later.